You're watching GamerBrain, and you're about to learn the latest tips, tricks, and fun facts about Overwatch. Number 1. Over who? Did you know that Overwatch originally started out as a game called Titan? This was a superhero MMO that was in development for 7 years before being cancelled. No one can say what it was about for sure, but here's what we do know. 1. It would have taken place on Earth in the near future. 2. The game zones would have spanned the entire globe. 3. You would have had a day job and become a superhero at night. 4. One of the earlier characters for this game was Tracer. Somehow she survived the cancellation and was brought back for Overwatch. Before we go any further, I'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you think that Overwatch has lived up to the hype and truly redefined the team deathmatch experience as Blizzard promised? Leave a yes or no comment below, and while you are down there, clicking like and subscribing would be a great help to the channel too. As for me, I think yes. Number 2. Sound familiar? Chris Metzen is the voice of Bastian, but you've probably heard him before as Thrall from Warcraft 3.
I am Thrall! You know, so, all that.
He also wrote the script for the Diablo series, as well as Starcraft, and of course, Warcraft as well. Number 3. Baby Got Back. There's no doubt that Widowmaker's low top and big booty have captivated the hearts of nerds everywhere. But did you know that her derriere would respond to her ultimate in the alpha version? For some reason, whenever she put her visor down, her posterior suddenly grew even larger. This strange feature has since been thankfully scrapped in later versions of the game. Number 4. Separated by design. If Hanzo and Genji look familiar to you, it's not just because they are brothers. The two were originally designed as one character, but he was way too overpowered, so Blizzard decided to split him in two. Number 5. An old classic. Pharah's character is heavily inspired by the classic multiplayer deathmatch series, Tribes. Take one look at the old gameplay and it becomes rather obvious. By the way, before they could think of a name or a story, Pharah's original name was Rocket Dude, and later, Rocket Queen. Number 6. First Pinata Shooter. On the Dorado map, you might notice a rather familiar looking pinata. Die-hard Blizzard fans will immediately recognize it as none other than Diablo himself. Unlike the real one, however, this version shoots out candy instead of lightning. Number 7. May's character. Don't you guys think it's a little strange that a company called Blizzard made a character with a special weapon that causes a Oh, I get it. Very clever, guys. Number 8. First issue. You'll get your kicks from this Easter egg on the Route 66 level. Sitting on one of the tables in the dining area is a comic book called Craft from the Stars. This kind of sounds like another game that Blizzard made, but I can't quite remember the name. Star something. Oh well, I'm sure it'll come to me eventually. Number 9. Symetra's personality. Symetra's behavioural traits are oftentimes blunt and lack consideration. This, combined with her line about fitting on the spectrum, has led many to speculate that she is perhaps supposed to have autism. Number 10. You Dirty Bastian. Bastian was considered a cheap character to use in early versions of the game due to his unfair ultimate. He originally could generate a shield to protect him, but this created an imbalance in gameplay. However, you can basically recreate this effect if you have Reinhardt stand in front of Bastian when he goes into turret mode. It's a little more difficult to pull off, but still just as effective all the same. Number 11. Bastian strikes again. In an even earlier version of the game, Bastian would throw out a remote mine that shoots in all directions when an enemy gets near. It was pretty devastating, but, like almost everything about him back then, it also made the game too unbalanced to keep. If you stop and stare at the robots in the background of the Volskaya Industries map long enough without getting fragged, you'll be able to catch them occasionally bust a dance move. Apparently somebody programmed these huge robots to boogie down. Number 12. Yackety Yak. The characters in Overwatch have 7,000 lines of dialogue each. Number 13. Deep Purple. There is a reason why Widowmaker's skin is purple. The mercenary group she worked for slowed her heart rate down so she could aim better. This had the unintended side effect of causing her skin to turn the colour you see in game. Number 14. Grow Up. Torbjorn is the shortest character in the game. He stands at only 4 feet and 7 inches. Reinhardt, on the other hand, is the tallest at 7'4". Bastian and Roadhog are exactly 1 inch shorter, and Winston is the same height as both of them when he performs his ultimate. Conversely, D.Va is the youngest character. She's only 19. Reinhardt is the oldest at 61. So, to be clear, Reinhardt is both the oldest and the tallest character in the game. Number 15. Hanamura Level Secret. There is a roof that you can access as Soldier 76 that is fairly helpful when defending. Go on the other side of the wall on the far left side of the stage and stand in the corner. Look down and jump immediately after performing Soldier 76's secondary attack to get to the first level of the roof. Repeat this a second time and you will now be on a rooftop that overlooks both points of entry. Number 16. Starcraft Lingo. D.Va's character is actually a professional Starcraft 2 player, which is why she uses phrases such as GG and APM, which stand for good game and actions per minute. She was undefeated in Starcraft 2 for 3 years straight. Now she live broadcasts her Overwatch missions to fans. Number 17. Overstaffed. According to the game's lore, there were over 100 characters at one point. Hopefully we get to see them all in the game soon. Number 18. Zarya's Tattoo. The 512 that's tattooed on Zarya's shoulder stands for the largest number of kilograms that she's ever lifted. This translates into slightly over 1,128 pounds. Number 19. Ninja Guiding. Everyone knows that Genji's deflection special is the best thing to use against Bastian, but it can be used to deflect so much more. You can knock Hanzo's ultimate back at him, but you have to catch the actual arrow itself, not the dragon. You can also knock back the canister for Mei's ultimate, and you can even deflect the explosives that Junkyard drops when he dies. Hopefully this trick transforms you into the best ninja you can be. Number 20. Cut Weapons. In the game's original trailer, you'll see Reaper use a grenade launcher when he fights Winston. This weapon has been originally scrapped from the game, or perhaps he just threw them all on the ground like he does with everything else. Number 21. The biggest beta. On May the 12th, 2017, Blizzard announced that 9.7 million players participated in the public beta of Overwatch. This astonishing number also won a second record for most popular beta for a shooter. Number 22. Halo reference. Pharah's green skin is called Security Chief and looks an awful lot like Master Chief from the Halo series, name and all. Whether this is a tribute or a thumb in the eye remains unclear. Number 23. Just Beat It. When Blizzard first put up the Route 66 level, they included an Easter egg that they later thought was too dirty to keep. Originally, when a player came across the outhouse, they would find magazines on the floor that were open to 2-page spreads of Mercy and Symetra. I wonder what the Deadlock gang were up to. I guess this level gets pretty lonely between matches. This raunchy Easter egg apparently clashed with the rest of the game's innocent and cartoony vibe, and it was apparently patched out later. Number 24. Hearing enemy ultimates. You should always watch your language in Overwatch, and I do mean that literally. If you ever hear a player perform their ultimate in a different language, then it automatically means they are on the enemy team. Players on your team only speak English. For example, Mercy will say, "Heroes never die" in English when she revives a player on your team, but if she revives an enemy, then she will say it in German. Even the characters who only speak English still have 2 different catchphrases for their special attack. Diva will say "nerf this" if she is on the enemy team, and activating self-destruct sequence when she is on your side. Knowing the difference between the 2 can help you decide whether to rush in for support or scatter for cover. Number 25. Other helpful audio clues. The game's director, Jeff Kaplan, told Scott Lawler and Thomas Newman that he wanted the sound for Overwatch to contain so much strategic information that players could play the game with their monitors turned off. The 2 sound designers didn't quite get that far, but they did manage to come close. For example, every character has their own special effect for footsteps. If you have a keen ear, you'll be able to tell who is approaching you without looking behind your shoulder. This also allows you to sneak up on players as Zenyatta. In addition, enemy players have much louder footsteps than those of your teammates. Number 26. How to level up fast. Forming into groups has always been a good idea, but in November, Blizzard made it more important than ever before. You now automatically get a 20% XP bonus for forming in a group of 2 to 6 players, so try to find at least one other person to join up with. Not only are you helping each other level up, but you are also cooperating as a team and experiencing the game to its fullest. As always, you get an additional 1500 XP for your first win of the day, but you also get an additional 200 XP for each follow-up match, so don't stop there. The consecutive match bonus is one of the best ways to easily level up fast. Another low-effort way to gain extra XP is to join a match after somebody else quits. This automatically gives you an extra 400 XP for filling in. Of course, you have to complete the match without quitting yourself to get it, otherwise you're no better than the last guy. Overwatch has a level cap of 100, but the fun doesn't have to end there. When you reach 101, your level restarts and you go back to 1, but you will have a special star to let everyone know that you are far from a noob. When you hit level 1 again, you will level up extremely quickly and you'll be able to earn a ton of loot crates in short order. Number 27. How to easily win escort missions. If you can, try to have 2 Reinhardt characters stand on the vehicle facing away from each other with their shields out. It's even better if Bastian is shooting from within the center. An alternate version of this method is to have Reinhardt stand in front of Bastian while Mercy heals and amplifies the damage. Number 28. Hidden character controls. A handful of characters have their own unique control options, unique only to them. Mercy is a medic who can see the health of her teammates by default, but you can also turn on team health for Zarya and Soldier 76 as well. You can adjust the aiming sensitivity of Widowmaker's rifle while zoomed in, and you can also toggle zoom with the right mouse if you are playing the game for PC. Genji and Hanzo can be set to automatically climb walls, and Junkrat's Tire Ultimate can be tweaked in the settings menu to automatically climb walls as well. Lucio has a special setting called Hold to Crossfade, but it is a little buggy. This option is supposed to let you set the default to his healing special move instead of speed, but sometimes it doesn't work properly. Number 29. How to clear out turrets. If Torbjorn is giving you a hard time, here's a quick and easy way to clear him out. Get Lucio to speed up Zarya and watch the mayhem unfold. As the turrets hit Zarya's shield, her weapon power is significantly boosted. Many players don't realize this, but Mei's freezing spray is able to stop Torbjorn's turrets just like they would a regular player. It doesn't last for very long, so your best bet is to use your wall ability to render it useless, or else heal in front of the turret to distract it from your teammates. Number 30. Turret health. A lot of players have still not figured out that Torbjorn's turrets absorb health packs just like everyone else. An excellent strategy is to lay down a turret directly on top of a health pack, and wait for an unsuspecting low health player to come walking in. They will most likely die right away, but if they do any damage to the turret, then it will soak up the health pack that they were originally hoping to get. Number 31. Symetra's turret placement. Symetra is one of the best characters in the game for setting up sneak attacks. When you are placing turrets, be sure to put them in the upper corners, away from an enemy's line of sight. Ideally, the enemy should always have to fully turn around before they are able to attack the turret. A good example of this is placing a turret high above the main entrance in the Temple of Anubis map. Another excellent spot on this map is on a wall with some overgrown bushes. The enemy will almost always have to do a complete 360 in order to reach these areas. Sometimes, these extra seconds are enough to snag an extra kill. Number 32. Map storylines. Believe it or not, every level in the map is supposed to have its own storyline. We'll go ahead and sum up each one of them for you. Number 1. Dorado. You are either defending or destroying a power plant that was built deep in the heart of Mexico. The payload on this map is actually a crucial piece of the project that is necessary to keep the power going. There is also a bank area that has been robbed by Junkyard and Roadhog. If you look on the security monitor, you can see them smiling for the camera. Route 66. This rundown hideout is home of the Deadlock Gang, which McCree was formerly a member of. The payload in this map is a military device that you, the attackers, have stolen from a train. They must escort it back to the Deadlock base at the end of the map. Number 3. Gibraltar. As Winston's to-do list on the blackboard reads, the object of this mission is to move a satellite payload onto a launch platform so that it can launch into space and signal all Overwatch agents back into action. Number 4. Hanamura. This is an assault on the Shimada clan's compound, which Hanzo used to belong to. If you look closely, you'll see that the B point is actually a memorial for Genji, who was thought to be killed, but who was really given a cybernetic body by Mercy. His sword is proudly on display. Number 5. The Temple of Anubis. This ancient archaeological dig is actually the entrance to an underground research facility that is working on what's known as Anubis AI. According to Farah, the Anubis AI has the ability to override any operating system in existence. One side is trying to stop the research from taking place, and the other is trying to ensure that it succeeds. Number 6. Volskaya Industries. This dormant factory is where Russia has been building gigantic mech warriors for quite some time. Now one of the factories has been reactivated and is making mech warriors all by itself. Your job is to either take the robots out or make sure that they can continue to replicate and potentially cause another Omnic crisis, which basically means robot apocalypse. Number 7. Hollywood. On this stage, you are escorting a limo with a famous robot filmmaker inside named Halfred Glitchbot. Obviously, this is a brilliant play on the famous director Alfred Hitchcock. Number 8. King's World. In the Overwatch universe, robots are forced to live beneath London in an underground city called the Underworld. The payload for this map is an EMP bomb that the attackers are taking to the Underworld to destroy the robots once and for all. In essence, you are trying to commit an act of terrorism on an unsuspecting cybernetic population. Number 9. Numbani. This map takes place at the Numbani Heritage Museum. The museum is about to unveil an exhibit about a character named Doomfist. You must escort Doomfist's gauntlet so that it can be put on display. Number 10. The final 3 maps, Elos, Nepal, and Lijiang Tower, all seem to be interconnected somehow, though their stories are not exactly clear. Players appear to be after a certain type of artifact or technology, though the details have not been fully revealed yet.